118-103, the final. They take Game 2. Welcome to Playoff Central Live, presented by AT&T. Nabil Kareem alongside Isaiah Thomas and Steve Smith. We've got complete post-game coverage coming up here. We're going to hear from the players, the coaches, and from these guys right now. It's only Game 2, and they're down 2-0. Still a lot of basketball to be played here. But if you're a Minnesota fan, can you give me a reason why they should feel, Zeke, like they still got a chance in this series? Because right now, I mean, OKC looks like a wagon.
Their confidence is definitely shaken. And here's why. It's shaken because OKC's defense has been so stifling. And it's been able to take one or two of their main weapons out of the game. You know, tonight, Randall was out of the game. The other night, you know, Anthony Edwards was out of the game. So they haven't found a way to really crack the defensive pressure that OKC is applying. Now, here's what OKC has that's totally different than most NBA teams now that we're watching. This is an old 80s basketball team. They got two 7-footers. They got wingmen that are 6'5", 6'6", and they got a point guard, you know, in Shea, who is, you know, Michael Ray Richardson, Magic Johnson type, you know, not in terms of passing the ball, but in terms of their size. They are built as a 80s basketball team that's playing against 20-25 style, you know, shoot the three, shoot the three, shoot the three. And these guys are pounding you inside, making mid-range shots, blocking shots. And their 7-footers are really 8-footers because of their length, their wingspan. So that's what, you know, Minnesota has to try to figure out offensively. And if you're not running sets to try to get people free, if you're trying to isolate, go one-on-one, beat you off the dribble, the way this defense is set up, you're not going to beat them off the dribble without defensive help, and then they're quick enough to recover.
I totally agree. I mean, what I love, Zeke, is that we're going to take away your first option. But obviously, we're going to fly around, and we all know closeout drill, right? They are getting to the ball the closeout at the same time as the ball is getting.
Yes.
And then they're understanding with their high basketball IQ, which is hard. I mean, sometimes you get in the game, you get tired, you're like, that's Isaiah Thomas. Do I close out short because he's a shooter and they're saying we're just going to close out to everybody close because I trust that my guy behind me, when I get beat, he's going to be there. Sometimes, you know, you rotate Zeke, you know, like ain't nobody there back there. Somebody close out. No, I'm going to go full out, close out the touch. And if you beat me, I know. I don't even trust. I know the next guy going to be there.
Yeah.
They're so locked in defensively right now. They're a very good defensive team.
Yeah.
But I think they've even gone to another level defensively where they're just grooving on defense like, let's just swipe down. They ain't going to call foul. Let's just swipe down. They're going to lose it. They're taking chances now with their defense.
Minnesota shot 41% in the game from the field, 28 from three. And then you go back to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who last game wasn't as efficient as he usually is. And this one, he was spectacular.
Yeah, so philosophically, right, you know, when they got interviewed, when Shai got interviewed at the end of the game, he said, hey, we're a defensive team. We rest on our defense, right? And that's what they approach the game with first. And then offensively, you know, he's good enough to get going, but he can trust what's happening on the defensive side of the ball. They get turnovers, they get out in transition, and their offensive game and their offensive strategy is, let's get a good shot, not a three-point shot. We're going to take a good shot. We're going to make the defense work. And when you look at, you know, their field goal attempts, you know, this isn't a team that's, you know, trying to get up 100 shots a night or trying to get up 53-point shots a night. They're playing 80s style basketball. And I asked you earlier who was on that coaching staff, and Dave Bliss is on that coaching staff. He was Coach Knight's top assistant at one time. And when I was watching this defense, I'm like, hey, I recognize this defense because this is how we played. This is what we were taught. And You're not going to beat this defense playing one-on-one basketball and shooting threes. You got to be a little bit more sophisticated offensively to get your guys going against this defense. And we've seen that they've taken one or two of their top scorers out the last 2 games.
Jalen Williams goes for 26 points in this game, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. I know you saw Chet Holmgren. You love what you saw from Chet, too.
Yeah, I thought, last year I saw Chet coming. He missed his entire rookie year, basically. And then last year you saw him come. And then, unfortunately, the injuries. And I think it's been, a couple things. Playing with Hartenstein, he's got to get adjusted. And then he just hadn't gotten the groove, because it's hard to get in the groove when, I don't know if Isaiah can speak to this. You come back, they're in first. I don't want to disrupt.
Yeah.
They're a really good defense team. They don't really need me they don't need me because they've been in first. So how do I fit back in? This was the first game he turned it on mentally. Let me be Chet Holmgren. He's aggressive. So I think that's a scary thing for Minnesota. We know where Jalen Williams and Shea is going and all the others. Now you got Chet saying, I can be the best player on the floor on both teams. Right. And he played like that, this confidence today. I think it's a scary thing if you get his confidence level back to where he was playing last year.
118-103 the final. OKC taking game 2. Let's hear from Chris Finch, who's at the podium right now.
Chris, just where did you see things get away in the third quarter there?
Yeah, I thought, again, we didn't close the half very well. I thought if we closed the half better, then we don't put ourselves on such a razor edge in the third. Excuse me. We only had 6 turnovers at halftime. We had a few more in the third quarter. Missed some shots. Didn't finish at the basket, and then led to a bunch of stuff in early attack mode for them.
With the way these 2 games have played out, just what do you have to say to your guys, or what are you looking for going back home?
Every minute in the series is a chance to find something. So we're going to go back home. This is a good team at home. So we're going to go home and fight for game 3. Heads up and look at the tape and get ready for game 3. So.
Randall's limit carried over from the second half of game 1 to basically the whole night tonight. What did you see from him, and why'd you go with Nas? To close
I just thought Nas has had a good game going, just wanted to try to see if I can spread the floor and get some quick decision making out there, and just trying to change the complexion of the game. So.
Seemed like the offensive process was pretty good in the first half. Did you see maybe deteriorate a little bit in the third?
Gotta look at the tape. I thought we missed. There was a moment there when the game was kind of starting to get away from us, where I thought we missed some good shots. We had some good corner threes that we needed to knock down. We just didn't. Overall, we shot the ball well in the first half, didn't connect in much in the third. So,
Chris, the numbers say that when Mike Conley's been on the floor in this series through the 2 games, you guys have won those minutes by a lot. What is he doing in those times that you think is leading to this? And then conversely, when he's off the floor, what part of his presence is missing?
Well, everybody. First of all, Mike is a high-level game plan execution. He fights. He's tough. He's physical. He's one of our scrappier guys. Offensively, of course, he's just a safe pair of hands against a lot of pressure. But